To give a percentage for the 1,000-pound deadlift, for the 400-kilo deadlift, the number's too small. It doesn't even give you a number when you put it into a calculator. I'm not even gonna try and calculate it.
And 500 kilograms, only 2 men. And I don't understand why he's making it sound like it's such hard math to do. If there's 4 billion people on the earth and 2 can do it, that's 1 out of every 2 billion men. 1 in 2,000 million people. That is very rare. Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going to be going over just how rare it is for men to deadlift 3, 4, or even 500 kilograms. Now remember, 300 kilograms is about 667 pounds, about 7 plates on each side. And you may be thinking, yeah, it's fairly common, but in today's video, we're going to show just how rare it is. And if you can lift anything close to these numbers, you are truly an exception. Many people might be thinking, oh, if you work hard, you just put in the time, you could eventually get these numbers. Especially if you use steroids. Clearly, anyone that uses steroids, especially for multiple years, clearly could lift these numbers. But the harsh reality is almost no one has the potential to lift these numbers, and those who do have clearly gifted genetics.
Only 4,000 men alive can deadlift 300 kilo. That's 0.00005%.
And so only 4,000 people on this planet, and remember there's 7 or 8 billion people on this planet, that can actually deadlift 300 kilograms, which is close to 7 plates on each side. Now, he says it's 0.00005% of the population. But remember, half the population is men and half the population is women. And so the reality is it's actually 4,000 men out of about 4 billion. And so the reality is only about 1 in a million males can deadlift 667 pounds, which is 300 kilograms. And so think of it. If you can deadlift this, you're 1 in a million.
I only count conventional. I don't count sumo. I don't count cheating.
And a guy says, you know, I'm not counting sumo. Sumo's cheating, and so it doesn't count. And so we're talking about a conventional deadlift. Many people can do sumo deadlifts. Perhaps they have very long arms. They spread out their legs until the bar is not traveling that far. Now remember, in powerlifting, you're allowed to lift both conventional or sumo, but this is specific to conventional. And so I do believe if they open this up to sumo, there would perhaps be double these people. And so if you can deadlift 667 pounds, you're probably 1 in 500,000 males. Now remember, that sounds very rare, 1 in 500,000. But for the most part, most people who are, for example, 18 years of age or younger, or probably 50 years and older, probably not going to do it. And so if you think about the majority of people, it's not really 1 in a million. It's probably more like 1 in 100,000 who actually go to the gym. After all, only about 25% of people train. I hardly doubt there's anyone that can deadlift this much that doesn't work out, that's never done a deadlift before. How many people are just a plumber, a doctor, lawyer that can just walk out and deadlift close to 700 pounds? Probably none. And so the reality is probably 1 in 100,000 people that train can deadlift these types of numbers. But still, it's very rare. It's rare. 1 in 100,000. Imagine being so special that only 1 in 100,000 people can do what you're doing. And that's only 300 kilograms.
Only 63 men alive can deadlift 400 kilo. To give a percentage there is too small. The number's too small. I'm not even going to try and give a percentage.
And so think of it. To go up to 400 kilograms, 881 or 2 pounds, that is extremely rare. 63 men. Very rare. We're talking about 1 in roughly 100 million, depending if we're including males and females into this. And so think of it. It's extremely rare. 63 in the world.
When it comes to the 1,000 pound mark, 453 kilo, only 22 men alive can deadlift 1,000 pounds.
And 1,000 pounds, which is about 454 kilograms, 22 men. Very rare. And some of these, in fact, are using straps. We don't know if we're counting straps or doing it raw. Are they using suits equipped raw? But clearly, having only 20 plus men who can do this in the entire world, that is extremely rare.
Only 2 men in history have pulled 500 kilo. I only count conventional. I don't count sumo. I don't count cheating. To give a percentage for the 500 kilo, for the 1,000 pound deadlift, for the 400 kilo deadlift, the number's too small. It doesn't even give you a number when you put it into a calculator. I'm not even gonna try and calculate it.
And 500 kilograms, only 2 men. And I don't understand why he's making it sound like it's such hard math to do. If there's 4 billion people on the earth and 2 can do it, that's 1 out of every 2 billion men. It's not a lot. Imagine being able to do something that only 1 in 2 billion people can do. There's 1,000 million in a billion. 1 in 2,000 million people. That is very rare. And so if we were to bring this down to say only 200 kilograms rather than 300, do you really think it's normal to walk out and deadlift 200 kilograms? Remember, I'm a Guinness World Record holder in the deadlift, sumo deadlift for reps. I also am an accomplished powerlifter. Do you know how much I deadlifted in my first powerlifting competition at the age of 22? 355 pounds. That's just over 160 kilograms, and I've been training since the age of 10. And so if you're deadlifting 200 kilograms, you're clearly far above average. You are an extreme outlier. You might be thinking, no, it's not that impressive. It's impressive. And so stop being so hard on yourself. If you can even deadlift 3 plates on each side, you're doing good. Yeah, there's women that can do it. But how many men can actually deadlift over 300 pounds? It's very difficult. And so if you're doing 400 pounds or 200 kilograms, 440 pounds, that is truly impressive. So stop being so hard on yourself. Same applies to bench pressing. Oh, you're all thinking it's so easy to bench press 3 plates on each side that if you use steroids, you can do it. Do you know how many people I know that take steroids that can't bench press 315 pounds? It's very, very hard to do. And think of the people you're comparing yourself to. You're comparing yourself to all the strongest people at the gym. The people who don't go to the gym, none of them are bench pressing 315 pounds. 315 pounds is a lot. And so even if you bench press 225, just 225 pounds, that is far above average. People who aren't working out, rare could anyone bench press 225 pounds that's not working out. And so rather than being so hard on yourself, comparing yourself to the best of the best, why don't you compare yourself to the average person? The average person can't do nearly what you think they can do. Most people can't do 10 push-ups. Most people can't do a single pull-up. And so anything you're doing above that, if you're going to the gym and you're training, you do 15 push-ups, then your goal should be to do 16. If you deadlift 225 for 6, why not do 225 for 7? That is good. And if you start out and you're using 95 pounds for deadlifts, you do that for a set of 10, then keep working on that. You don't have to be able to lift incredible amounts of weight to enjoy lifting weights in the gym. And of course, if you want to increase your gains, you can check out Ecti Builder, Turk Builder, GO2 Max, G-Test, creatine, protein powders, pre-workout, Delta Sleep, Seco protein bars. The list goes on and on. Also, you all know about the training books, the cookbooks, the Circle Diet book, all this to help you lose weight and keep it off for the rest of your life, as well as my Harder Than Last Time clothing line. And if you want something free, go and check out my website. I'll give you a free diet and training program. You can also join the newsletter. Don't forget to enter code GREG, G-R-G. It's going to give you 10% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. If you liked the video, please give it a like. And until next time, I am out.